Oh boy, what is going on with Nintendo? Well, we just got another leak. If you guys haven't been around the last couple of weeks, like literally everything that you could possibly leak about this console has been leaking. Someone leaked the entire motherboard, so we know lots of the internal structure and the actual specs of the console. We've been seeing leaks of all types of the screen size, to the dock, to the logo, and a lot of it seems to be truth. Well, today we just got yet again another leak, this time of the Joy-Con, and we've seen some like kind of renders that people made, and just we've heard some talk about it, but this is the first time we're actually seeing the full Joy-Con, and it seems to be straight up spot on, and there's a lot of things that prove that this is the real Joy-Con. This is like a bittersweet moment for me, because I'm like, this is so cool to see that. This has got to mean we're super close to the reveal, but it also means we're seeing all this stuff before we even see it in the reveal, which kind of stinks. And like I said before, I really do believe Nintendo shot themselves in the foot with this one. They've had so many opportunities to reveal this thing, and they decided to wait until as long as they could, and this is what's happening. So that is why I still strongly believe something's got to happen soon, like within this week or sometime this month, because Nintendo cannot survive with more of this stuff leaking out. Every single day there's something new. But back to the Joy-Con. Yes, these seem to be the real Joy-Con. Now, before we start to doubt this and say, we don't know if this is true or not, apparently we do, because someone ran the actual serial number themselves and it came up as an actual unit. Yes, this product exists and it's actually registered from Nintendo. This is just crazy. And just for reference, this is what it would look like if that serial number was invalid and not a real product. It would say invalid serial number. So clearly, this has truth to it. This could literally be a retail unit that someone has right now, which means it's scary considering the fact that we've heard a lot of other people say that they had retail units as well, like the whole Christmas leaker guy who showed us pictures of the dock. Now, before we start talking about what this means, let's look at the Joy-Con themselves. Now, like you can tell, they're clearly a lot bigger than the original. I mean, we can see the side-by-side where clearly the one on the left, which is the Switch 2 Joy-Con, is a lot bigger. But what's interesting to me is the rail, because there's so much going on there compared to the original. Now, both actually have the SL and SR buttons, but the SL and SR buttons on the Switch 2 Joy-Con clearly are a lot bigger, which is a huge plus. They're such a pain to hit when you hold them sideways. I can't believe they were ever even that small, and seeing them side by side is pretty insane. So yes, we have bigger and better trigger buttons for this side rail there. You can still see a small connect button in between these triggers, which helps you to connect your Joy-Con to an actual console, especially if you're not playing on your own console. The LED lights to signify which player you are on the side of the Joy-Con rail are now gone entirely and replaced by tons of other things, which makes me believe that it's now on the side of the rail and not the back side, if that makes sense. It's hard to determine which is the side when you're holding a Joy-Con, but yeah, you can see this image, which seems to be coming from an accessory manufacturer who shows their little steering wheels that they're going to be selling, probably for the next Mario Kart, but you can see the lights are on the side of the rail than the back side. We also have these weird new flat buttons at the top of the Joy-Con and the bottom of the Joy-Con rail, which I have no clue what this is for. Maybe this is just something for it to actually connect to the unit, but it's definitely strange. It doesn't necessarily look like a button you can press, but maybe something else entirely. I believe it's just a way for it to stay on the screen better, but who knows. Now you can see the little slot in the middle of the rail. That's apparently for it to magnetically connect to the side of the Switch 2, which we heard is going to be a thing. There's going to be magnetic rails instead of it just sliding into place, which we've actually even seen from leaks. You can even see on this one, which seems to be real, that the side of the console has these little latches. I hope we don't end up breaking these off on accident, because that looks really dangerous. But yeah, I guess they're just going to click to the side, which I actually am a big fan of. Now, on the side of the Joy-Con, underneath the triggers towards the top, you can see this new latch button. And this seems to be the same thing as the latch button from the last Joy-Con, but a lot bigger. And yeah, it's going to be easier for us to press those and just pop the Joy-Con off instead of trying to dig your nails into that little button on the original Joy-Con. Once again, just bigger buttons, bigger controller itself, just bigger improvements. Now this one is pretty interesting. There seems to be some type of IR camera or motion detector sensor or something above the latch in the middle of the Joy-Con rail. I don't know what this could be, and maybe there's some special gimmick that Nintendo is still, waiting to show us or waiting to tell us. Of course, we don't know anything about this console from Nintendo themselves. It's all been from leaks, but yeah, I'm curious to see what this could be. Maybe add some type of new function to the Joy-Con. You know, Nintendo loves their gimmicks, and I'm sure this isn't just going to be a bigger, better Switch with no new gimmicks. So I'm actually very curious to see what this could end up being. And then of course we have the back of the Joy-Con, which doesn't give us a whole lot of information. You can see that rail definitely is a lot bigger, but once again, if we compare it to that leak, there's a big groove on the side of the Switch now, this is probably going to fit in perfectly snug, so you won't even notice it, which is really cool. But yeah, all these leaks are coming together to make a lot of sense, and they're all working with each other to just prove that this is probably real. So clearly this is very interesting. Now I've seen a couple people online still trying to defend Nintendo and say, you know what, they probably don't care about these leaks. You know, we know it's going to be another Switch. It's the Switch 2. You know, there's nothing to really care about. They should definitely care. I mean, at this point, it's getting scary, because if we're able to have people out there with retail units that are clearly cleared from Nintendo, meaning that, you know, the serial numbers work, these are real checked retail units. So I'm like, what's next? What's stopping people from showing off everything about this console? If we've already got the motherboard, we've already seen the dock and maybe even the side of the actual unit, we've seen the Joy-Con, what's next? What's stopping somebody from showing the operating system and the new menus and UI? What's stopping people from leaking maybe some game information? You know, what's stopping people from showing off every last thing that there is to be shown off? Maybe the new eShop that they could have and everything. I mean, it's literally going to be taking everything from a reveal. Look, personally, I'm telling you, these leaks do matter, because I went from being very hype about the Switch 2 to more very hype about the games at this point. I don't think I care about the Switch 2 anymore. It's just like, I know pretty much what to expect, and I don't know if that's really a good thing from Nintendo. So unless they have absolutely killer games that are coming very soon, and lots of launch games as well, I don't see how anyone's going to care all too much compared to the way we did with the initial Switch reveal. It was big, it was new, it was fresh, but now we're sitting in a time frame where, like, we have a Switch. Unless there's something that's really driving me to go out and buy this new one, why would anybody care? Like I've said before, Nintendo has a limited time to reveal this thing. I think this upcoming week is the best time frame to hurry up and get out in front of any more leaks that could be happening. I think there's a lot of reason why next week should be the week. I really hope they don't decide to, you know, wait out and let Donkey Kong, you know, take the spotlight when it's already a remaster of a remaster. I mean, at this point, Nintendo needs to just forget about the software for Switch 1 and just focus on Switch 2 marketing, because no one's going to care that much. I'm telling you right now. So time will tell. We're going to have to see what Nintendo decides to do, but let me know in the comments down below what you think is going to happen. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe before you head out, and like always, I'll see you all on the next one. See you guys.